Well, listeners, ladies and gentlemen, we have a very, very special guest in the jukebox with us tonight. We've got my fellow Wilberforce Bulldog alum, also the founder, owner, and CEO of Lowrey Staffing, Miss Tesha Lowrey. Welcome, Tesha.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh man, I'm so excited to have you here at the jukebox. Thank you so much for coming. How you doing today?
I'm doing well. It's Friday. I get to cool out for the evening, so I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. It's the weekend, so I'm in a good mood.
And congrats on your show. I've been listening. The music flows. I've seen some of the interviews that you've done, so I mean, it's pretty cool what you're doing. I really respect it, and I'm excited. I'm happy for you for starting and launching your own radio show.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. That means a lot to me. So, Tisha, you're on the jukebox tonight. You're doing some big things yourself, and people are noticing. I've certainly noticed. We mentioned at the outset in your introduction that you founded a company, Lowry Staffing. So, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself first, and then tell us what Lowry Staffing is?
Okay. Well, I'm originally from Flint, Michigan, and have been actually in Atlanta now for 14 years. So I do call Georgia my home. Um, a graduate of Wilberforce University, um, graduated in 2000, and launched Lowry Staffing because I actually worked for a staffing firm, have like 10 years executive search firm experience. And so last year, July the 16th, I was able to launch my own company. And we are growing. And, hopefully the goal is to continue to grow and have brought on two people onto the team.
That sounds awesome. Now tell me, Tisha, prior to starting Lowry Staffing, you were working for a staffing firm, correct?
So, actually worked for two very large staffing firms here in Atlanta. Both of them are international firms, and loved what I did there. The most recent role, I held a leadership role and worked in legal staffing. And so in April of last year, 2020, I was actually laid off.
Hmm.
So I was one of the people that was laid off. I know our department had 15 people in it, and they were only able to keep three of the 15 in Atlanta. And so, because I love what I do, I'm very passionate about what I do. And so, what we do, we specialize in accounting and finance, legal, IT, and then office and admin.
Okay. Now there's a huge hump there that you just kind of glossed over. So I'm gonna take you back just for a second because when a person is working for a company, that's a huge leap to go from that to starting your own business. So did you have the urge or any inclination to look for another job, or did you just go straight to entrepreneurship? Tell me how that worked out.
Yeah, I did. I started applying for other jobs. And I'm going to be frank, when I graduated from Wilberforce, I got a job working in New York City. And even in those leadership roles, I always knew deep down that I wanted to have my own company. At that time in my 20s, I just didn't know what it was going to be.
That is amazing. So that entrepreneurial spirit was kind of always there. It was just a matter of the right time and opportunity to take advantage of it and to really move on that. That's really amazing now, but it's not just you though that you had to consider. You have a family, right?
I do.
Okay. So was how scary was that?
Scary because when you think about entrepreneurship, people look at that as like it's glamorous. oh yeah, you have your own, and it's not all glitz and glamour. It's a lot of grit and grind, a lot of hard work. I actually work more now than what I did when I was working for a company. And when you working for a company and you have that little cushion where you know that you're going to be paid every 2 weeks, or maybe some companies pay twice a month. Well, with when you're an entrepreneur, you have to plan ahead. There are going to be some nights where you wake up at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning because you're thinking about, all right, well, I know that I did this and that for this month, but the next month is coming. You're always planning, you're always setting new goals so that you can stay ahead, because you have to make sure that you have that income stream consistently coming in.
Mhm.
So that's scary in the sense of when you have a family. It's like do or die. You have to constantly plan. I plan out my day the night before. So, I finish up my work day, but what I'm doing is, all right, well, now it's my planning hour because I've got to make sure that I'm plan. This is the plan for tomorrow. This is what I'm targeting tomorrow, or these are the people that I'm going to be calling and targeting. So I live by a calendar on my phone. I'm using the calendar email, because I have to constantly be on it like that.
So, what would you say has probably been one of your biggest challenges in getting your company off the ground?
So one of the biggest is when you are a new business starting up, access to capital. And normally, what they tell you is when you start out, whether you're going to a bank or you're going to private investors or funders, you don't spend your own money initially. You spend somebody else's money, whoever your investors are. And so when you're starting up, especially now, the time that we're in now, it's very hard for a minority and woman owned businesses to have access to capital. And so for me, I did a lot of research and just looked into business grants and other programs. And I came across a program called I Fund Women. That's one of the organizations. And saw like, wow, they fund and they help all of these other, you know, um, entrepreneurs who are women and who are Black. So they have I Fund Women for colored women, for example. And so what they teach you is to, reach out to your network, family and friends and people that you've worked with, so that you can have access to
So,
capital.
tell me about how you prospect for new clients. And do you ever see the hurdle of the idea, well, I've never heard of Lowry Staffing, so why am I talking to you?
Yeah. Yes, I can definitely tell you some stories on that. So, what I do in terms of obtaining new clients, a lot of cold calling, picking up the phone, calling people, looking on job board ads for open positions, and of course, I'm constantly interviewing candidates. So and all of the lines of business that I mentioned to you, like legal, accounting and finance, IT, always interviewing different professionals and those roles. And, interviewing people who are currently working full time and interviewing some people who, maybe they lost their job and they are a great candidate, but lost their position or was laid off as I was due to COVID. So, matching them up with different job orders that we get from clients. And then also, I get clients referrals, from people that I know in the industry, or sometimes it could be from a candidate. They might say, well, hey, I spoke to a colleague of mine, and XYZ firm is looking for an attorney, or they're looking for a controller, and they will say, well, here's the contact person for that role. And, I can reach out that way. I also obtain leads by reference checks. So, whether I have a candidate that I think is a good fit and I check their references and I'm speaking with, their former employer, um, check out, I say, hey, well, what's going on there? Are you all looking and I'll let them know who we are and what we do. And of course, when you call and you're a new firm, people can look me up. They can see that, the company is registered with the state of Georgia. So, if hopefully that'll make them feel comfortable. And a lot of times I have to introduce myself as, hey, I used to work for XYZ firm, and they know of that firm. So people feel a little more comfortable. And, but I just reassure them, hey, we are a new firm, it's a boutique firm, a lot of constant follow up so that you can build the trust. Because, of course, people only do business with people that they like, know, and trust. And if they don't know you, then you have to find a way um, for that person to develop trust in you.
So, what important lessons have you learned throughout this journey?
Yeah, so it's every day is a different day, and right now, I'm just starting up, so I haven't had um, anything major come up where it's like, oh, we have to backtrack and see why that happened. But one big thing is that having contracts in place. I don't do any business with any clients without a signed contract, and making sure that people read those contracts. Because we had an instance where, we had a guarantee in the contract where this company hired someone, and, it's the guarantee basically says, well, if it doesn't work out with that person within this time frame, then what we will do is replace that person for you free of charge. And so they waited till after that had expired. And most companies would say, well, sorry, that's on you, find your own person because you're not in that time frame anymore. But because I am a new company, I'm able to work with people, this person, this client. And I said, well, all right, well, we're a week past that deadline. The cutoff is already gone, but you try to work with people because you want to keep the relationships going. You don't want to end it because of something like that. So one big lesson is just you have to be able to accommodate sometimes and just take things on a case by case basis. So
Okay,
yeah,
that's good advice. That's good advice.
yeah.
Now, I'm willing to bet that as hard as you're working, somewhere around there, you're also playing just as hard. What do you do to decompress and to de-stress?
um, Self care days. So that, and right now, with COVID, I know that Atlanta is wide open, but I is still cautious and still in quarantine. And so for me, I try to do things that are going to be safe for my family and I. So it could be watching a movie, my favorite movies, listening to music, listening to Ray's Jukebox. I mean, or
That's
it could
all I really wanted to hear. I don't know. I'm just kidding.
that, or I just anything, just I just try to do little things like that, or maybe going for walks. Going for walks, I like being outside, working out, meditation, and reading. So those are the things that I'm doing right now because of the situation going on in the world. But I do like to play golf. So I have played golf some, during this whole quarantine and going to parks and things like that. So yeah, just doing that, and sometimes just just unplugging, from social media.
Hmm.
And That's another thing that I do to kind of just mellow out.
So I'm definitely want you to plug your website, your social media, and all that, so that people listening, if they want to connect, they can reach out to you. But before we do that, since you listen to the jukebox, you know what we got to do first, right?
What's that?
You got to go to the jukebox and make your selections.
Oh,
So
okay.
give me up to 10 songs that you would select on a jukebox.
So how do I do that? Like, can I select from the website or
No, no, no. Just tell me.
right now?
Yep.
Oh my gosh, because I'm so let's see. I have to cheat and look at my playlist.
She got to look at her device to know what she likes to listen to. We are so tied to our devices.
I know that's bad. That is bad because, back in the day, we used to memorize numbers by heart, right?
Yep.
You would know, of course, your parents' number, grandparents' number, aunts, uncles. And now all I know is two. I only have my mom's number and my grandfather's because my grandfather's number has been the same, I kid you not, since I was like 5 years old.
Well,
So that number I have. I would say um, Sunbathe by Miguel. You said 10 songs, right?
yeah, up to 10. Don't have to be 10.
Okay, so Sunbathe is by Miguel. Another Life by D'Angelo. Get Sun by Hiatus. I can't pronounce the last name. It's Hiatus Coyote.
Okay.
Um, let's see. Cherish Today, Sade.
Classic.
Skin, Sade. Um, Comforter, Shy. I don't know. I lost track of the counting.
Oh, that's old school. Okay.
And let's see. On Chill by Jeremiah.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna have to make that playlist and spin that a few times. Okay, very nice. So, do you have a website? What's your website? What's your social media? How can people find out everything that's going on with Lowry Staffing? How can they contact you? Give us all that good info.
Our website is www.lowrystaffing.com. We are on Instagram and LinkedIn. And our contact number, all of that can be found on the website. Um, if you are looking for an opportunity, you're a candidate, you are talent. There is a contact us icon on there where you can fill out your information and that will come directly to us. And if you are looking for talent, if you are an employer, you can reach out to us on that website. So yeah, please follow us on Instagram at it's Lowry Staffing, and on LinkedIn we are listed as Lowry Staffing.
Okay, there we go. So, folks, you've got that information. There's links on the website. Make sure you go and check it out. Congratulations to you on your success so far. I'm still taken aback by it. I'm in awe. Um,
Thank you.
Congratulations and continued success.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And congrats too again on your show. Um, Next thing I know, I'm gonna look up and it's gonna be like, I see that already you have listeners from all over, like in on various continents.
Yeah.
I think that is so cool. So yeah, you're gonna have the whole takeover with your show. So I can't wait to see the growth with it.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, when I get hard to reach, I still leave a spot for you. uh, Thank you so much, Lowry. It was a pleasure having you, a pleasure talking to you, and we're definitely gonna have to do it again real soon.
Thank you so much.